There's two things about this that really jump out at me, and I decided that I wanted to speak out against what's being proposed here in this general budget. The first being the UIA situation that we have. We've had thousands and thousands of people in this state that were wrongfully accused of fraud when it comes to their UIA claims. And unfortunately, many of those have not been made whole by the mistake that we made as a state. I want to give you an example of somebody in my district that had to suffer some serious consequences because of something that he did not cause. He was here legally on a work visa from out of the country, and he was doing the things that he needed to do as far as trying to provide for his family, make a living, pay his bills, and he was laid off from his job. It was then that the state came in and wrongfully accused him of fraud in his UIA claim. And unfortunately, he had to go and hire an attorney. It cost him thousands and thousands of dollars to have those charges acquitted and made the state realize that it wasn't in fact fraud that had happened. And unfortunately, he is out that money. He's been proven to be innocent in these charges, but he's lost thousands and thousands of dollars in his claim. And unfortunately, in this budget, there's nowhere that makes up for that to help that citizen of ours become whole again. And second of all, the other thing that jumps out at me in this budget, and it's something that I'm going to continue to speak about as long as I have a seat here on this House floor, is revenue sharing. We have made promises to our local governments to provide for them, to make sure that they have the funding necessary to provide the services that those communities are expected to provide. And unfortunately, we still continue to turn our backs to them. And while the revenue sharing in this particular budget is for cities, townships, and villages is flat, it still is not enough. It's just not enough. And I come from a local background, local government background, police and fire background, and I know and I've seen what those services provide to our community. Our communities depend on those services, and we as a state are not adequately funding those local units of government, and it's something that needs to change. So with those two issues, it is clear to me that we are not taking into account the people of this state. We're looking at trying to balance that bottom line, and we're not doing it with the people of Michigan in mind. And so therefore, I'm going to urge my colleagues to vote no on this and until we can get it right and actually put people into the equation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.